What is going on? It's a great day in America, everybody. Let me turn myself down a little bit. I might be coming in a little hot there. What is going on, everybody? I am pumped to go live today because I will tell you what, it has been non-stop election stuff up until now. And we can finally move on to Thanksgiving. We can finally move on to Christmas. It is going to be good. I already got some Christmas decorating done. Not all of it. We have we have special Christmas towels. We have some blow ups out in the yard. Good stuff. We have been excited to get into the holiday spirit, and already been listening to Christmas music. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh my gosh, it's only the first week of November. What the hell is wrong with you?" Whatever. I guess technically, what was the 1st of November? Was it last week? Last Friday. Okay, so this is technically the first week in November. Whatever. I enjoy it. My wife enjoys it. It is Christmas time in my household, as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, what is going on, everybody? We have a big slate of things to talk about today that I am very excited about. There's not anything, in my opinion, that's like earth shattering, like marquee, top of the pile to talk about. But there's some stuff we got. Disney dealing with AI. We've got Stranger Things 5 to talk about. They released some information on that. I think the article I got on it has all the information. If not, I will find out because my wife was giving me some stuff last night about it that I had not heard yet. Some of these articles I haven't really looked over fully yet, but we'll get into all of that together. We've also got some news on Call of Duty, some positive stuff. Not they've been banned in Kuwait, whatever. I had one person that said he started listening to my video last time and was like, "Oh God, you don't like Call of Duty," so I just turned it off. It's like I never said I don't like it. I just said I think it's the same game every single time, but it just with a slight upgrades. It's like the new iPhone every year, just like Madden. It's the new iPhone every year where it's like, oh, I got to get the new iPhone, even though it's the same exact phone with like one slight upgrade, one slight difference, whatever. But, whatever. It's that way with a lot of annual releases. So it's not just COD. It's not, and I'm not saying COD bad, but either way. Possible CD Project Red teases possible movies for The Witcher and Cyberpunk as well. So obviously, we already had some Witcher, like the Witcher show. We got a Witcher anime coming out that kind of fits into the show, I guess, kind of. But they have the voice of Geralt from the video games voicing Geralt in the anime movie coming out. But we've got an actual movie that they're teasing, possibly with a job listing. Lots of stuff. Netflix lost out on a big Margot Robbie film. That's like it's based on a really old book that's kind of a supernatural romantic thriller kind of whatever. I don't know. We'll get into it and all that. But yeah, there's tons to talk about today. Like I said, none of it's like hard hitting, like top of the pile. This has to be it kind of marquee getting stories, but plenty of entertainment news, and it'll get your mind off of the freaking election and politics in general for a little while. Let me try something real quick. See if this works. There we go. Ba-boom. Just what I wanted. All right. What do you guys think of this, by the way? You like it? If you can see, I painted the wall finally. That's if anybody's watching any of my live streams and have noticed, I had a blue tarp up for a while just to cover it up. Before that, you could see I patched the wall and all that. That was real nice. If you're tuning in for the first time on YouTube, if you could subscribe and click the notification bell, that would be super cool of you. I would appreciate it. And if you're following on Rumble, follow me on there as well. Follow the channel. I post new stuff all the time. I did not post my most recent video from YouTube on Rumble because Rumble kept rejecting it the other day. It kept saying it was the file was corrupted. So I saved it again, said that file was corrupted. So I don't know what's up with Rumble. I'm going to try it again today. I have a new retro wrestling review coming up tomorrow. If anybody's a big fan of wrestling, I do my retro wrestling reviews every Friday. So that one's dropping tomorrow. It's going to be, since we're officially in turkey season, we're officially in November. I'm going back to cover the very first ever Survivor Series, WWF Survivor Series 1987. This caused a big snafu with WCW Starrcade, or NWA Starrcade at the time, which was always on Thanksgiving night. And Vince said, well, screw you. And he did a competition with him. So he put Survivor Series up there, marketed it as the biggest event since WrestleMania 3. It was the first pay-per-view since WrestleMania 3, which was huge if you don't know. And Hogan and Andre were in the same ring again. So it was a big deal. Covering all of that on this week's Retro Wrestling Review. And then next week, I have a special return of the main event marks. Obviously, unfortunately, Greg has passed away, so he's not going to be on the show. But I'm going to have plenty of special guests, people that personally knew him, maybe a relative of his. We'll I'll keep you involved. Some mutual friends and whatnot, and we're going to memorialize him. But we're also going to talk about wrestling. We're going to memorialize him in a way where we talk wrestling. So it's not just going to be us sitting around talking about how much we miss our friend and confidant and whatever. We're going to actually be talking about him in relation to wrestling, which was a big part of his life, a big part of his relationship with all of us that are going to be on the podcast. I will post it in video form as well as audio form. So subscribe to the main event marks on whatever you listen to podcasts on, whether it be Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I know we're all over the damn place, so whatever. But it's also going to be video form next Friday on YouTube and Rumble. So if you'd rather watch/listen there, tune in. And we're going to be doing a big push for Toys for Tots, which was a big thing that Greg believed in big time. He always donated to Toys for Tots every holiday season. So we're gonna push for that, and it's gonna be fun. So yeah, join in and hear us reminisce about wrestling with Greg and push for donations for Toys for Tots, a good cause. So we're gonna push for that all podcast. Either way, let's get into some less depressing stuff. Less depressing than election stuff too, and politics or whatever. We're staying away from all of that. We're gonna get into wrong button. Let's get into some AI talk, huh? This is bleeding into politics in certain areas, but this story will not. We're not going to talk about politics. We're keeping far away from that. Oh God, all these stories on the right. I don't give a crap. Anyway, Disney establishes group to oversee AI mixed reality adoption in responsible way across the company. Newly created Office of Technology and Enablement being led by Jamie Voris, previous CTO of Walt Disney Studios. Anybody, if you can chat and let me know what the hell a CTO is. I know COO, CEO. I don't know what Chief Technology Officer. That's got to be it, right? It's got to be Chief Technology Officer. All right, double check in. Okay, everything looks good. Cool. Disney has created a new strategic group to manage and coordinate how the company develops and deploys new generation tech like artificial intelligence and mixed reality, and to do it in a responsible manner. The company tapped Jamie Forrest, who has served as the Chief Technology Officer, I was correct, of Walt Disney Studios for 14 years, to head up the newly formed Disney Office of Technology Enablement. Voris, in the new role, will report to Disney Entertainment co-chairman Alan Bergman, who announced the creation of the group in the internal memo on Friday. Our ability to remain at the forefront of technological advances will only be more critical as we move forward. Blah, 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 blah. He said to Variety. I'm using Variety a lot today, by the way, because I'm trying to change things up. I usually use a lot of Bounding into Comics and that Park Place. I know they're very polarizing with a lot of their stories. I get it. I'm trying to be less polarizing today and just give like down the middle informative stories. But I've got a polarizing video that's probably going to come out next week, but we'll talk more about that. Anyway, the Office of Technology Enablement, OTE, is intended to ensure Disney is a progressive, innovative, and responsible leader in AI and mixed reality, per Bergman's memo. The group is aimed at positioning Disney as a leader in formulating industry best practices. Voris and his team will work with other technology teams spanning the company, including Disney Entertainment, ESPN, and Disney Experience Theme Parks Division. Yeah, let me read this last part here. The pace and scope of advances in AI and XR, extended reality, are profound and will continue to impact customer experiences, creative endeavors, and our business for years to come. Blah blah blah. Disney's Office of Technology Enablement team will have accountability to all of our business segments and partner closely with leaders across the company. Take over and or centralize AI or mixed reality projects that individual business units are working, he added. This is probably not all. Uh, let's see, is assuming they're all CTO at Walt Disney Studio. Okay, so Eddie Drake, who had been the head of technology at Marvel Studios, is assuming they're all CTO at Walt Disney Studios. The news about Disney's new next generation technology group was first reported by Reuters. Yada yada. Okay, so not a whole lot there other than exactly what's who's taken over what and all that. So basically, Disney's upping the ante with AI across the entire business. It's not just going to be in like movies and TV, whatever. It sounds like business. I know my mother is in the education sector, and they use AI for some of their paperwork and different stuff that they do. I had a mini argument with a coworker earlier today because he was like all indignant about AI, and he was like, "I will never use it. It's for plagiarists and whatever." And I'm like, "Okay, I mean, not really. I can see your point if you're saying because AI is not new. AI is not like it created it out of thin air. It's a machine. It doesn't create on its own. So it's taking from a big pool of whatever across the internet and uh picking things out of it to make something. I get that argument. So technically in the loosest terms it's plagiarizing, I guess, but not really. Uh, I mean, I don't know. You can fight AI all you want. You can fight machinery like the dock worker strike earlier this year, or this season actually, where they were talking about no machinery, no automation, whatever. Like you can fight that all you want, but you're screaming against the dying of the light, man. It's you're not gonna win that fight. It's just not gonna happen. You're holding back human progress, and I can see their argument where they say it's machine progress and kind of pulling back humans. But like I try to tell my wife, because she's like, well, some of this is putting people out of work. I'm like, yeah, I get that, but like farm machinery put a lot of people out of work too. Like there was a lot of technological advances, stuff that I do right now for my job. 7 day. Whoa, my camera went out. That was weird. Goodness. Hold on a second. Whoa. Not a pretty sight. There we go. All right. That's weird. Anyway, the things I do for a job right now, 7 days a week or 5 days a week, excuse me. Uh, like some of that was putting people out of work, I'm sure at some point. But it also creates jobs. When you do this stuff, it creates more job. What is wrong with my camera, man? I hate this camera. I seriously hate it. Like it shorts out all the time, and I don't get it. It's really frustrating. Is it going to turn on? There we go. Come on. Come on. Da, da, da. There we go. Boop. Okay. Anyway. You can fight the progress all you want, but man, this is really frustrating. I'm glad I don't have a giant audience sitting here watching my camera completely screw up on me. That would be really embarrassing. Okay. Whoa, wrong camera again. Here we go. Screw me. All right. Anyway, maybe AI is fighting back against me or something. I don't know. But um some form of human progression is always going to put something else out of work. Damn camera. Like let me try one thing. I'm going to take a let me see if I can do something here really quickly. All right. Period. There's no third option where I'm paying someone to make this for me. I'm not putting anyone out of work. So I don't know. It's a very divisive comment. I've had people say because I've used AI thumbnails in the past, and they're like, "I won't watch your video based on you using AI for this." I'm like, "Okay, well, whatever." If you're that butthurt about it, like there's nothing I can say to you to make it any better. And I've had writers yell about that before. As a writer, I would never. I'm like, I'm a writer too, and I would like I've used AI to get myself out of writer's block so many times or to help me proofread or something like that because I need help. So I just, you know, it is what it is, but I don't know. People can fight it all they want. Getting into this one is one of the bigger stories I'm going to cover today. Uh Stranger Things 5 confirms 2025 release, final season episode titles, including The Right Side Up for the finale. Yeah, they're like, what, 35 at this point. I'm being facetious, but seriously. The fifth and final season of Stranger Things will debut in 2025. Netflix announced on Wednesday to celebrate November 6, 1983, aka Stranger Things Day, the day Will Byers, Noah Schnapp, was abducted into the Upside Down. The streamer also released a video revealing the titles for the final 8 episodes, which will include the supernatural story of Hawkins, Indiana. Excuse me, conclude. I can read good. Let's go through these episode titles, shall we? There's The Crawl, The Vanishing of, ... The Turnbow Trap, Sorcerer, Shock Jock, Escape from Camazotz, The Bridge, and The Right Side Up. So, yeah, Stranger Things finally making waves again. We finally hear something out of it. For goodness sakes, this will be the 5th season, and it's taken like 20 years to make. Like Millie Bobby Brown is 22, I think. She started this when she was like 10. God, she's married out there. Like this is nuts. Some of these titles allude to earlier episodes. The Vanishing of ... revealed with the name fully obscured invokes the series premiere, The Vanishing of Will Byers. Fans online have already speculated that the new abductee could be Holly Wheeler, the younger sister of Mike, Finn Wolfhard, who was reportedly recast with Evil Dead actor Nell Fisher, but Netflix has not officially confirmed. When Holly was recast, would anybody like notice? I don't really. Again, that's I guess that's the advantage of spacing out the seasons so much because then you're like something's a little different about you, but you can't really tell. Like when seasons are closer together, it's very obvious. Hey, that's not the same actor or actress. It's also less obvious when they're like really young. So I don't know. But the season one finale was titled "The Upside Down," the name of the phantasmagoric alternative dimension connected to Hawkins. So it is fitting that the series finale, titled The Right Side Up, is the reverse. And the penultimate episode, titled The Bridge, evokes curious titles like season four's The Piggyback and season two's The Gate. The other titles seem to introduce new vocabulary into the Stranger Things world. The Turnbow Trap probably refers to a Hawkins business called Turnbow Land Development and Realty, excuse me. Series co-creator Ross Duffer posted an upside downified billboard for the company on Instagram in March. Shock Jock, meanwhile, likely refers to WSQK, a radio station that appears, again courtesy of post by Ross Duffer, to be a part of the season. Then there's the Escape from Camazotz, which is presumably a reference to Madeline Langles? I don't know. Madeline Langles' seminal sci-fi novel, A Wrinkle in Time. Oh, I actually like that book. I did not know the author's name, unfortunately, in which the planet of Camazotz is under an unyielding control of nefarious entities known as the Black Thing and It. Oh, I forgot about it. Okay. What Camazotz refers to in Stranger Things and who could be escaping from it remains to be seen. The most delightful detail in video is arguably the reveal that the season takes place in the fall of 1987, 4 years after the events of the first season, which debuted 8 years ago in 2016. Wow, that's crazy. So, update: the Stranger Things social media accounts posted several behind the scenes photos from the season that includes stars Wolfhard, Schnapp, Gatton, um, Matarazzo, Caleb McLaughlin, Joe Curie, Natalie Dyer, Charlie Heaton, David Harbour, and Winona Ryder. There you go. There's these pictures. Aren't they? Because if I remember correctly, didn't the Upside Down kind of spill into the like our world at the end of season 4? If I remember correctly, it like cracked open and started like spreading across the land. So I wonder how that's going to work. Working in A Wrinkle in Time is cool. I don't remember much about it because it's been so long since I read the book. I read it as a child, and then if anybody has seen or read the sequel books, there's like A Wind in the Door, and I don't even remember what else. But anyway, regardless, that's kind of cool. Kind of getting away from the Dungeons and Dragons side of it because they've had a lot of that, and it's cool. Whatever, it fits the show. But working in Wrinkle in Time, it works. It makes sense. So. I'm excited for Stranger Things. It's like bittersweet. I'm like, I'm ready for it to end, but at the same time, I'm like, it needs to end, man. Like, come on, how long are you going to drag this out? Like I said, Millie Bobby Brown started it when she was like 9 or 10. Now she's like 22. Let me see. How old is Millie Bobby Brown? Oh, she's only 20? Only 20? Really? Could have swore she was like 22. Whatever. My question is, why would you name your daughter Bobby Brown? Millie Bobby Brown. Okay, whatever. And then she goes by the whole thing. Why doesn't she go by Millie Brown? I assume her first name isn't Millie Bobby. I don't know. I always think it's like pretentious when people are like, I go by 3 names, or they hyphenate their name or something, like whatever. Maybe it's just me. You get 2 names. All right, let's move on to reality TV, which I do not watch, but I know a lot of people do. Latest production stats paint grim picture for reality TV. See some of this. I am not going to subscribe to you. Whoa. Oh, it's only available for VIP subscribers. Well, I guess we're not covering this one because I'm not paying you for crap. Well, let's see what they say here. Once an unshakable pillar of the TV industry, unscripted shows are facing headwinds. New film LA Q3 data shows. While reality TV weathered COVID on the strike, and the strikes, excuse me, Hollywood's most post-pandemic production con- uh, contraction, gosh, is hitting hard, with total unscripted shoot days in LA dropping by nearly 60%. Yikes. Why, oh, why can reality TV survive the battering a year over year? No. I mean, it will because it's cheap to make and it always returns profit. But man, if we get less unscripted reality TV bullcrap, I'm fine with it. I'm sure a lot of the world will be fine with it. Can we please have um, less garbage? Garbage TV is what it is. But yeah, I just posted a video. Unfortunately, if you're only following my Rumble, you won't see it because, like I said, it was giving me fits with trying to upload it the other day. So I'm going to try it again later. But the video is called Tinseltown is becoming a production graveyard. Tinseltown has become a production graveyard. Yeah. I posted it yesterday and it's or 2 days ago, excuse me. And it's because it kind of deals with the same thing with production in Hollywood is dropping bigly. It's not it's not good. And like California is chasing everybody out. Like they've already chased out a lot of the tech bros. They've chased out a lot of the space industry. They've chased out uh, the car, like any car industry, or if they haven't yet, they're about to. And now they're chasing out the one thing that makes them money all the time, the movie industry and the television industry. They're chasing it out because they regulate them to death, they tax them to death, and just nobody wants to be there anymore. Especially when you've got better, more affordable states offering you the moon to come film. You got Florida, Illinois, marginally better, Georgia, uh, I think Louisiana. I mean, you got all those states. And that's if you just want to stay in the United States. A lot of people are going to Canada to film, New Zealand, places in the UK, Australia. They're offering better incentives to film there and produce your stuff there than all the way back in Los Angeles. Why would you stay there? So, yeah, shoot days in LA dropped huge, just with scripted stuff and with quote unquote unscripted reality TV, which I don't believe in. But anyway, yeah, that's dropping. They said 60%, dropped 60% year over year this year. And yeah, you can. I kind of go through all of it. I don't really cover reality TV too much in that video, but it's kind of the same kind of thing where I talk about what I just mentioned with the taxes and the regulations or whatever, and the lack of incentives. But then the strikes hit really hard, and just the trust and the I don't know, the allure of the movie star and the TV star is kinda gone. Yeah, people might like you for a little bit, but then you're gonna open your mouth, you're inevitably gonna make an ass out of yourself either in an interview, multiple interviews, or, on social media, and people are gonna be like, "Wow, this guy's a complete pile of crap," or, "This gal is a complete pile of crap," and they don't care about you anymore. Like, that's gone. Back in the day, we used to have very little access to the stars. Now it's a daily, like, constant flow of crap. Like, just I will say this since I'm not gonna get political, but just the funny thing is since election night, Mark Hamill has been trending on Twitter or X, whatever the hell you want to call it. And it's not because people are talking about anything he's filmed recently. People are making fun of the guy. People are calling him out. So, like, it's just stuff like you never would have seen stuff like that back in the day. Just, zip your lip, film your stuff, say thank you for watching, move the F on, man. You don't have to be an activist. You don't have to be out loud and proud about every stupid belief you have, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. You just go about your business. Do your job. Do your job. Moving into gaming for a little bit here. I got some stuff there. Here we go. Out of Variety again. Like I said, I rated Variety for a lot of these stories, and some of them come from comicbook.com, which again is pretty neutral. Let's see. PlayStation CEO Hideki Nishino and Herman Holst reveal how new two business strategy impacts studio console plans. Exclusive. All right, let's see. Variety's interview with Sony Interactive and blah, 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 blah occurred on October 16th prior to PlayStation's Tuesday announcement. It is shutting down Firewalk Studios and Neon Koi. SIE was unable to make studio business CEO Holst available for additional comments or to clarify his previous comments about layoffs in this story ahead of publication. We're going to go through some of it. For those that don't know, Firewalk Studios are the ones that made Concord, which was the woke looking I always forget Overwatch. That's the game. Overwatch. Garbage looking Overwatch game. But anyway, and it bombed out hard and cost them millions and millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars. This spring, Sony CEO Kenichiro Yoshida turned heels when he picked two PlayStation vets to lead Sony Interactive Entertainment, Herman Holst and Hideki Nishino. After all, having co-CEOs is a potential recipe for friction. In their first interview since assuming their new roles in June, Nishino and Holst speak to Variety about how their partnership works. They argue that the scale of the company behind the God of War and Spider-Man franchises has grown to require two operations that each needs specialized leadership, a platform business run by Nishino and a studio business headed by Holst. I would actually say, just on paper, that sounds like a good idea. So I don't know. But anyway, quote, this is not co-CEOs. It's two CEOs for the company. Nishino says, Herman runs his thing. I run my thing. And then we get together and we talk about how to grow the business. Nishino acknowledges the tensions inherent in the structure, but spins it as a healthy dynamic. Yeah, I could see that. Quote, growing the business for success has a conflict as well. How we impact each other or how we want to sacrifice or not. It's a balance. It's an opportunity and a risk part. Holst estimates that 80% of their day-to-day time is spent managing their discrete areas. Yada, yada. The two in a box CEO arrangement is rare, but there's evidence the right duo can make it work. In early 2023, for example, Netflix installed double CEOs to pilot the streamer, and so far, Ted Sarandos and Greg Peters have overseen impressive growth in stock market highs. Nishino became head of the production of SIE, previously SCE, in 2016, and from blah, 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 going through their history. I don't care. It's an unpredictable time for PlayStation. SIE's Bungie studio laid off more than 200 staffers in July. In September, the company shut down its Concord live service game 2 weeks after its August 23rd launch, then closed Firewalk Studios, the maker of Concord and mobile-focused brand Neon Koi earlier this year. PlayStation was dinging over the $699 price tag for its PS5 Pro console due out in November. PlayStation was also dinged over its price tag. Yeah. At the same time, PlayStation drew praise for new platformer Astro Boy and has built back cred with fans with the announcement of Ghost of Tsushima sequel, Ghost of Yotei. Have they? The division also is riding high on anticipation for season 2 of HBO's mega hit adaptation of PS5 game The Last of Us and Amazon's new God of War series. Remains to be seen if that will be any good, considering Amazon's making it. I have my doubts, but we'll see. He won't have a son in this one. He'll have a daughter, and she'll be better than him in every way. Holst and Nishino have adopted a show don't tell leadership style at PlayStation. Quote, "It's important we convey our strategy," says Holst, "but at the end of the day, I am with the creators a big chunk of the time." Yeah. So basically they have dual CEOs overlooking everything. Cool. Whatever. But they just laid out, they had that big bomb with Concord so bad that within 2 weeks they shut down the game, they shut down the studio. It was embarrassing, a humongous embarrassing loss. The price tag of that PlayStation Pro, like what did I say, $700? F me, man. Who the hell's buying that? And why? If you are buying that, I want to know why. Why? Why are you doing that? It's the Ross from Friends meme where he's like, "Why? Why would you do that?" It's I knew people that they owned an Xbox, perfectly fine, worked great, nothing wrong with it. But then a new Xbox would come out with a new skin, or it would make a new noise, or it came with a special edition game, and they'd have to run out and buy it. Just like I said with the new iPhone. Only this one, there's nothing new about it except it looks different. You can literally buy skins to slap on your system if you're that weird about it. I don't think like the PlayStation 5 Pro, there's no need to spend that kind of money on it. And let's see, like I said, Astro Boy did well. They claim people are excited for Ghost of Yotei. I think it's a mixed reaction at best. I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. Bungie just laid off more than 200 staffers. That's a chunk. And they've got season 2 of The Last of Us coming out, which people are going to be excited for, but we'll have to see if the quality holds up with that one and how they handle all of it. And then and that'll probably be the end of it unless they figure out a way to keep going somehow, some way, because maybe they'll split the second game into 2 parts. Which honestly I think would be smart if they want a third season out of it. They could definitely get 2 seasons out of the second game. Not that they would necessarily be good. They might be. You never know. But and then what was the other thing I mentioned? The God of War series on Amazon. That's up in the air. We have like zero information about that show. It could be good, it could be garbage. We'll have to wait. Like I said, he might have a daughter instead of a son this time, and she's a super cool, independent. See, she has a flaw. So she's like too cool. She's too awesome, and she just can't handle it. She can't handle her own awesomeness. Like, well, she can handle it. Other people can't handle how awesome she is. So, but anyway, with that, let's talk about Call of Duty. Call of Booty is doing well. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 scores franchise's biggest ever launch weekend, which blows my mind. I'm wondering if this really is a good game or if people were just like excited about the premise of it. I don't know. I really don't know. It could be either or. I have heard people say this is a really good COD. So I always preferred Black Ops games as opposed to like the Warfare games or whatever. But anyway, Black Ops 6 is set or has set new opening day and weekend launch records for the 20 plus year old franchise with its October 25th release, according to Microsoft Gaming. Per data released by the Xbox owner Wednesday, Black Ops 6 was the biggest Call of Duty 3-day opening weekend ever in terms of total players, hours played, and total matches. However, Microsoft did not disclose specific numbers for any of those Black Ops 6 metrics or comparable figures for previous Call of Duty games. So, reading between the lines, take it with a grain of salt. From Activision's Treyarch and Raven Studios, Black Ops 6 is available across Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, and marks the first mainline Call of Duty game to be released since Microsoft closed its $76 billion purchase of Activision Blizzard, the largest video game acquisition ever made in October 2023. If I remember correctly, when Greg was alive, that was one that we were talking about where we were like, dude, are they ever going to make this work? Or is it ever going to go through? Is everybody and their mother kept trying to block the purchase? That was the one like PlayStation and Nintendo, and or well, Nintendo didn't cry about it too much. They were like, whatever, we don't care. PlayStation was crying hard about it and kept taking them to court internationally. But anyway, Black Ops 6 was available to Xbox Game Pass customers at launch as part of Microsoft's push for its subscription service and its overall revenue strategy. The game was heavily marketed by Activision across social media, TV, and live experiences ahead of its debut. I mean, isn't it always? Last week's launch of Black Ops 6 was the biggest Call of Duty release ever, setting a record for day one players, as well as Game Pass subscribers ads on launch day. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella said during the company's quarterly earnings call Wednesday, quote, unit sales on PlayStation and Steam were also up over 60% year over year. So very successful. A win is a win, man. Even if what I said about even if what I said about the game were true, and I'm not saying it is, it's my opinion and I'm entitled to it, that the Call of Duty is the same every year. It's just, you slap a new coat of paint on the same game, slightly better graphics, maybe one or two new features, a new gameplay, whatever. And it's, COD is COD, whatever. Even if that were true, this is still a big win. And I gotta call it out is congratulations for them. I mean, they did good. So Call of Duty gets a win, and I can whatever. I'll never bag on it. It's got a great business model because they've managed to build up enough love from their own community where even if I am correct that it's the same game, I'm not saying it is, like I said, it's my opinion. Enough people love it where they will complain about it. The Quartering talks about this too. He's like, you'll cry and complain and yell about it, and then you'll buy it again next year and you'll still play it. And this one apparently was bigger than all of them. They did really well. So congrats to them. Call of Duty Black Ops 6. It does actually look pretty good. It's going back to the Gulf War, which I feel like a lot of games did there for a while, and then they kind of got away from it, and now they're back. We're back, baby. We are back to Gulf War. Before I get into this next one, this next story, I would ask if you are watching on Rumble, please follow the channel. It's rumble.com/C/Marks on Media. If you want to follow me on YouTube, that would also be great. I would appreciate that very much so. And that is youtube.com/@Marks on Media. You can share those around to everybody you know, and even people you don't know. Just slip it in their DMs as instead of feet pics, send unsolicited links to my YouTube and Rumble channels. That would be great. Less creepy too, I'll say. And then I am very active on social media. I am on X and Instagram. You can follow me at Marks_on_media. I'm also on Getter and True Social at Marks on Media. I'm on them. I mostly just share my stuff, but I do check my notifications. So if you reach out to me on Getter or Truth, I'll respond. So I am on there. I'm also on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Marks on Media Tube. Unfortunately, too many people have taken too many variations of marks on media, so it's not like uniform for me across the board, but whatever. I also have a locals channel if you want to check that out. I don't have any exclusive content on there yet, but if people start signing up, I will get exclusive members only content on locals and YouTube. I'm on Kick as well, but eh, I don't know how many people give a crap about this kind of content on Kick. Either way, but keep it up. I'm actually excited for this next story. We're going to talk about The Witcher and Cyberpunk getting movies, possibly. We'll talk about that. We're going outside of variety, everybody. So, yay, we've passed that point in the show. Don't worry, we'll be back. Anyway, CD Projekt Red job listing could hint at The Witcher Cyberpunk movies. Let's see. Job listings for video game companies offer an interesting window into blah, 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 blah. As shared by Game Rant, a new job listing from CD Projekt Red that the company is looking for a writer slash editor that would be tasked with, quote, writing scripts in English for comic books, TV, and movies. Additionally, the company is looking for someone that has knowledge of the company's IPs, which are basically just The Witcher and Cyberpunk 2077. Now, it's important to note that CD Projekt Red is closely associated with both of these brands, but it does not outright own either of them. The Witcher is owned by writer Andrzej Sapkowski, while Cyberpunk 2077 is owned by creator Mike Pondsmith. That's a hell of a name. Both of these franchises have been licensed by CD Projekt Red, so it's not clear exactly how involved they might be in potential adaptations like movies. That said, the company's video games have greatly grown in both of these franchises, including them or introducing them to a lot of people. It's possible that CD Projekt Red could have some involvement in movie adaptations of either property, but it is a little bit surprising. Yeah, and like I said, we already got a show for The Witcher, and we've
What's up, comic book BD?
went out for The Witcher. So, it's not like we don't have any of that. We don't have anything for Cyberpunk, as far as I am aware. None of this addresses the fact that Netflix has a live action adaptation of The Witcher, as I mentioned at the moment. That series is coming to an end with season 5, however, and we don't know if Netflix has any plans for subsequent projects. We could see please don't. We saw your Blood Origins show, and that was barf. Just absolute, just trash. We could see CD Projekt Red making its own Witcher adaptation after that one comes to an end, or we could see a collaboration between the two companies on the franchise's next big step. Of course, that could also hinge on how fans react to the show's next 2 seasons, considering the controversy that has surrounded the recasting of Geralt. They also recast, I had a story I talked about, I think, last week. I'll go back to the article here in a second. I think I had a story last week. They recast Vesemir, his mentor, whatever. He's been recast. Um, so yeah, two major character. Obviously, the main character in the show, and then another major character, but everybody else is the same. Oh, I don't know, man. With The Witcher, like I said, I'm going to go back to the article here in a second. But with The Witcher, yeah, I mean, CD Projekt Red has seen the bad blood surrounding The Witcher with Netflix. Andrei Sapkowski has seen it. Why wouldn't Andre say, you know what, I'm signing off on a project to make a movie or a new show or whatever? It would probably have to be a movie, but like a movie series through CD Projekt Red. If they get some writers in, make a movie for The Witcher. There's all, like I said, people are ticked, man. People are not happy. They haven't been happy for a long time with the show. And then when Henry Cavill left and they got Liam effing Hemsworth, the other Hemsworth, they were pissed off about that. People have been mocking it since then relentlessly. That Blood Origins show they came out with, where they didn't have the names from the show to lean back on, that just bombed out hard. I did a review on that one. It was embarrassingly bad. And now, yeah, it's kind of like how the Warner Brothers is like, we own the IP for like movies for Lord of the Rings. Obviously, Amazon got the TV rights, so they're making that god awful Rings of Power garbage. But they're currently making that War of Rohirrim, War of the Rohirrim anime movie coming out soon, and that's I don't know how well that's going to do. I'm excited for it, but either a lot of people have been like, "Oh, they're gonna girl boss it up and whatever." And like, I don't know. I still think it looks good. The animation style, I love. I love animation, and it looks like kind of a throwback, kind of like almost like Berserk, but updated, kind of animation. So either way, I would be all for that, even if they did it like they're making that anime Witcher movie very soon for Netflix. I if the CD Project Red did something like that, they could capitalize on fan anger. They really could. Just give them what they want. Like Batista said, give them what they want, or give me what I want. Whatever. Either way. Finishing this up though. For now, readers should take this job listing with a grain of salt. Obviously, CD Project Red has something in mind here, but there's really no way of knowing what exactly. It's possible that there are plans in the future, or that the company is planning some kind of full-length film adaptations that are a bit bigger than what we saw with Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Was that a movie? I'll have to check it out. Anyway, given the explosion of interest in video game adaptations over the last few years, it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out once we have more details. Whatever happens, CD Projekt Red has proven that it can steer these franchises in a direction that brings in new fans. For now, those fans will just have to wait and see how it all plays out. Yeah, I agree. I'm interested. I would love to see a movie based on Cyberpunk. I'd like to see a different style of adaptation of The Witcher, considering Netflix just and this is coming. I like the Netflix show. I'm not crapping on it. But a lot of fans of the books and the games hate it. And I get why. I understand and I sympathize with them. I don't think Andrei Sapkowski, the writer of the books, likes it very much either. But he's making money off it. So, I'm not crying too hard for him either way. But yeah, so that's that one. Got a few more. Sorry, let's get into box office. What's coming ahead? Turkey time, Thanksgiving is right around the corner. It's big for the movie industry. It's big for box office. We talked about how Hollywood's chasing off oh, California is chasing off their only money making industry, which is the film industry. But we'll talk about here coming up. This actually looks like a halfway decent Thanksgiving box office here. But from Variety, Hollywood bets on Thanksgiving rebound. Will Wicked, Gladiator 2, and Moana 2 revive the sluggish fall box office? Wicked won't. I don't think you could probably count the amount of people excited to see Wicked on one hand. Even the people that were excited, I don't know her name, but the green actress here, I know she's not green in real life. It's a joke, but she has pissed off a lot of people. And then they've released like their singing between the two of them. Ariana Grande is not a bad singer. Like she's a really good singer. She sounds awful. They both sound awful. It's going to be trash. All right. Even the Broadway weirdos, I joke, the Broadway lovers, they're not gonna like it. So, but to paraphrase Wesley Snipes as Blade in the summer blockbuster Deadpool and Wolverine, there's only one Barbenheimer. There's only ever gonna be one Barbenheimer. Yep, probably. That was a weird box office time, ladies and gents. Hollywood might never replicate The je ne sais quoi that that prompted the explosion of Barbie and Oppenheimer double features, turning the box office battle between two very different films into a once in a generation cinematic event. But multiplex owners are hoping that Wicked and Gladiator 2 achieve something close, as the pink and green musical and the Coliseum set action epic lands in theaters on November 22nd. Quote, "It won't happen in the same way, but the conversation around Wicked and Gladiator is reminiscent of Barbenheimer," says Sean Robbins, Fandango's director of movie analytics. "They're fueling each other." Are they, though? I mean, I personally want to see Gladiator 2. It looks good, but I know a lot of people are like, "Oh god," and they're just crapping all over it. So, it doesn't have the groundswell that something like, Oppenheimer had, or even Barbie. I can admit I didn't give a damn about Barbie. I will never watch that movie. But, like, I get it, and it had huge support. I'm not gonna pretend like it didn't. It made buttloads of money. Neither one of these films, I don't think either one of them are gonna get that. Whether or not Glicked, God, is the second coming of Barbenheimer, just stop. Quit trying. There's mounting pressure on Thanksgiving movies. Disney's Moana 2 swims to the big screen on November 27th to deliver at the box office. Oh, really? Well, that's cool. I gotta check it out. Sorry, I turned myself down a little bit. I don't know how hot I'm coming through. I wish somebody would let me know in the chat if I'm coming through hot or not. Anyway, um, to deliver a box, October has been heavy on tricks and light on treats, with Joker Folie à Deux tanking and Venom: The Last Dance falling short of the other entries in the symbiotic stage, or excuse me, in the symbiote saga. And while December will offer The Lion King prequel Mufasa, nobody cares, and Sonic the Hedgehog 3, people do care, this Christmas season could be more muted, since there's no guarantee billion-dollar blockbuster a la Avatar, Star Wars, or Spider-Man to close out 2024 and shrink the year-to-date conflict or deficit, excuse me. Yeah, I don't think Star Wars is going to be a multi-million dollar property, like, guaranteed anymore when they drop a new movie. What's the next one coming? The Ray movie's been delayed indefinitely, I think, and oh no, uh, it's that meme, the "oh no" anyway. Uh, so that's done, but you've got the Mandalorian and Grogu. I guess that'll probably do well, but that's about it. Spider-Man, yeah, obviously. Uh, and I know they're talking retrospectively with Star Wars doing well, but I'm looking ahead. The industry is looking at Wicked, Gladiator 2, and Moana 2 as a holy trinity of moviegoing, says Robbins. It's hard to recall a Thanksgiving lineup with so much potential. Gladiator 2, I think, will do decent. It'll make money. Wicked will face plant and bomb out. Nobody wants to see this. Like I said, people did want to see it there for a while, and then the Wicked Witch there proved that she is of her namesake. And then Moana 2 will do gangbusters. People have been waiting for that forever. So that'll do well. All three are projected to open solidly, with Wicked aiming for $80 million to $85 million over the weekend. That's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out for you. Gladiator 2 looking to bring in 55 to 65 million between Friday and Sunday. That's it? Really? And Moana 2 will likely targeting above 100 million for the 5 days. Yeah, that I believe it. Cinema operators need patrons to gorge on film offerings to salvage a lackluster year at the movies. Yeah, this has been an awful year for new movies. There have been a handful of decent ones sprinkled in there, but that's about it. Overall, domestic box office revenues are down more than 11% from 2023 and nearly 27% from 2019, according to ComScore. This time last year, exhibitors were grappling with lighter release calendars amid strike related delays. Now they're contending with the residual effects of the months long production stoppage. Yeah, this is what happens when you shoot yourself in the foot. There's a lack of momentum going into Thanksgiving, but the marketplace works when there's something for everyone. And this Thanksgiving, there's something for everyone. Yeah, we'll see. Turkey Day is historically been a busy time at the movies. The holiday hit a high watermark in 2018 with 315 million in grosses across all films, led by Ralph Breaks the Internet, Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, and Creed 2. That's a good one. Since the vid, though, Thanksgiving's have mostly been meh, with more bombs, Disney Animation's Strange World and Wish, than winners, Marvel's Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Last year's holiday was one of the worst in modern history, with sales capping off at $125 million. There's optimism that this year's lineup could reverse the downward trend. We'll see. Or as the meme says, sure, Jan. I mean, maybe. Gladiator 2, like I said, looks good. And maybe I'm wrong about Wicked. I don't think I am. Uh, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm not. Then there's Moana 2 is gonna just make boatloads of money. Pun intended. But yeah, it's gonna bring in a ton of money. I I liked Moana, so Moana 2 will be a must see. I will say this, I know Wish bombed. I watched it. I liked it. I thought the music was good. A lot of people didn't like the art style. I did. I enjoyed the art style. I thought it was good. Um I don't know, man. I don't know why people just didn't like it, but they have their reasons, and a lot of it is just so much Disney hate at this point. Everybody's going to hate anything Disney does, no matter what they say, no matter what they do, no matter what they put out, people are going to hate on it. So some of it's justified, I'll say, but they kind of brought it on themselves, so I don't really feel bad for them. But I don't know. I thought Wish was good. The other one though, it was Strange World. No, why did they ever think that was going to do well? That was at the heart of their everything is going to be super progressive and just waving the various colored flags and just injecting stuff into films that people don't want, all that kind of stuff. That's another one I refuse to watch. I will not watch Strange World. I thought about it a couple of times, and then I'd see a trailer again for it, and I'm like, nope, no, thank you. Anyway, that's the Thanksgiving box office we have to look forward to. I do want to see Gladiator. I'm not going to see it in theaters, and like I said, I do want to see Moana 2. Again, probably not going to see it in theaters. All right, hold on one second. Ah, boom. All right. Just making sure this stays up behind me here. I just thought of this today. Do you guys like it? What do you think? I like it. Some people have like signs and stuff. I'm not gonna go on get a full on sign to put it behind me, but I thought this was cool. I have a projector, and I'm like, why the hell not use it? Okay, so most of the rest of I got two more variety stories. This next one is just a point and laugh at somebody, kinda. You guys will have to tell me what you think about this, because most people are just dogging on this guy on social media for this. The Weeknd's Hurry Up Tomorrow film with Jenna Ortega and Barry Kogan, Barry Kagan, lands at Lionsgate. Why is this dude still acting? He's awful. I like his music. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I don't like his music. His music is pretty fire. But man, what the he's not a good actor, and everything he's in is god awful. And I'm sorry, I'm tired of Jenna Ortega. I'm just gonna say it. I posted that review of Beetlejuice. I said it was crap, and it's not her fault that it was crap. It had nothing to do with her per se. It's just I'm tired of seeing her. Like she's in all the same kind of stuff, and I don't know. Let's check out, see what the hell it is. So the weekend's upcoming film, Hurry Up Tomorrow, will get worldwide theatrical distribution from Lionsgate. The musically driven psychological thriller, of course, which stars, his name is Abel Tesfaye. I don't know. I can't pronounce that. Abel. Jenna Ortega and Barry Kagan, is directed by Trey Edward Schultz of Waves, whatever the F that is. The film is produced by Don't Care. Oh, tell me about the damn movie. The film is an extension of the Weeknd's upcoming album of the same title. Oh boy. Which stands alongside the film's score by The Weeknd and Daniel Lopatin, whatever. Chase Urban serves as director of photography. Why do I care about who's working backstage? I don't care. Abel is a visionary whose art cannot be confined to any single medium, said Lionsgate Motion Picture Group chair Adam Fogelson. Yeah. With Hurry Up Tomorrow in partnership with Trey, his musical universe expands onto the big screen with a psychological thriller that will usher in a new cinematic experience for fans. We are thrilled to be bringing it to audiences worldwide. He wants to be Michael Jackson so bad, and he's not. Hurry Up Tomorrow is the culmination of the Weeknd's trilogy of studio albums following his hits Dawn and After Hours. This third album is in the trilogy serves as the final chapter crafted with existential and self-referential themes. God. Okay, The Weeknd, who has sold more than 75 million records, co-created and starred in the 2023 series The Idol alongside Lily Rose Depp, which was trash. Deadline was first to report on the news. Cool. Don't care. Yikes, man. Like I said, I like his music, but he is a trash actor, and everything he's been in has been god awful. So that Idol show, just everybody dogged on and talked about how much dog crap it was. Awful, man. Just straight up poop shoot. I don't know what else. I highly doubt I'll see that thing. I want to see, like, it's a trilogy of albums, so like they all have the same theme. Like, what's going on here? I'm curious now. This next one I thought was interesting. Because yeah, this is weird. This is an old book that they decided to dig up. I wonder if they're going to update it for modern audiences or what they're going to do with it. But there's Margot Robbie with I don't even remember that director's name. She did Barbie. I don't know. But anyway, Netflix lost Margot Robbie's Wuthering Heights to Warner Bros. Despite a $150 million offer as the streamer lost its deal-making mojo. And I'm thinking of the South Park thing where they tried to get their superhero franchise on Netflix, and Netflix would answer their phone when they'd call, and they'd be like, your project is greenlit. What do you have, or something like that, you know? But it turns out money can't buy everything. Take the case of the Red Hot Wuthering Heights package, giggity, the Emerald Fennell directed film, okay, which will star Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi, or excuse me, Elordi. I don't know who this guy is. Anyway, sparked a bidding war with Netflix's $150 million offer, dwarfing Warner Bros. $80 million bid. Why do you need more than that? $150 million on a Wuthering Heights movie? F off, man. For the past decade, agents have advertised their clients to take the loot, but in a sign of turning tide, the Wuthering Heights filmmakers, led by producer Robbie, opted for Warner's film chief Michael DeLuca and Pamela Abdi's pitch for a wide theatrical release and a full marketing campaign. Yeah, okay. So 80 million. I mean, that's a lot of dough, don't get me wrong, but that's a little bit more reasonable. $150 million. Man, Netflix. And they still lost. That's the funny thing about it. One top agent says Netflix was shocked by the outcome. I'm shocked that there's gambling in here. Because obviously they had outbid every other studio for so long and had been used to winning these contests. Even more surprising, Netflix may not have even finished the heat in second. Amazon is believed to have done so, having promised Fennel a major theatrical push. Netflix and Amazon declined comment. So they wanted it in theaters. I mean, that makes sense. They could push this for theaters, especially with the, I mean, it's not like Barbie at all. This is an actual, like, serious story, like a supernatural thriller kinda story. I don't know what else you would call it. Supernatural love story, kinda whatever. But it's very serious and very, dark. It's pretty dark, and it's very, I don't know how else to describe it, but it yeah, it could do well in theaters, especially, I mean, Margot Robbie isn't a surefire money-making name. And if you wanna argue with me about that, look at all the movies she's been in and tell me which ones have actually turned a profit, because you're gonna point to Barbie and be done. Wolf of Wall Street, I guess? But Greta Gerwig, that's the woman's name. Greta Gerwig, yeah, anyway. But Netflix would have slapped it right on the streamer, and it's like, I mean, eh. I'm sorry, streaming still does not have the appeal of being in the theater. It's not the same. You're not gonna make the same kind of money. You're not gonna make the same kind of appeal. And this way, they can get it in theaters and then put it on a streamer, which now with this, it's gonna be on Max. So it'll do well. But anyway, for its part, Warner was eager to move forward immediately. Production begins in first quarter 2025. Sources say even if that poses a logistical headache for Alordi, who is scheduled to begin shooting Euphoria. Oh, that's why I don't know who the hell he is. Season 3 in January for sister company HBO. Warner also declined comment. Netflix has the biggest number of subscribers and scale, so they can afford to play the game, that they're playing, says Eric Handler, an analysis analyst, for Roth Capital Partners. But there's a growing contingent of directors and movie stars who are saying, no thanks. Yeah, they want to be in theaters, like I said. Now, some filmmakers who signed deals with Netflix appear to be having second thoughts about the company's no to cursory, no to cursory theatrical stance, and are looking for any wiggle room. In 2020, Greta Gerwig inked a lucrative pact to write and direct 2 films for the streamer based on C.S. Lewis's The Chronicles of Narnia book series. Yeah, I'm not hopeful about that. But that was before the mega success of Gerwig's Barbie and its $1.45 billion box office haul. With Barbie star Robbie having bypassed Netflix on Wuthering Heights, Gerwig has renewed leverage and is in discussion to see Narnia receive an IMAX run when it's released in 2026. That might be a bad choice depending on how it looks. A source familiar with the deal making says talks are preliminary for Narnia to screen at more than roughly 1,800 IMAX theaters globally. But the specific footprint has not been discussed in detail. Another source says the film will only unspool across a fraction of IMAX theaters. Another key detail being ironed out is the time between the IMAX run and the Netflix bow. A truncated window could prove thorny for IMAX. AMC, Regal, Cinemark, and any of the partners who have IMAX screenings are not going to be happy to put money into promoting a movie that they could see on Netflix a week later. Yeah, that's not going to work, man. Last month, IMAX poached Jonathan Fisher from Netflix to be its chief content officer. Fisher, who was Netflix's VP on content strategy and Analysis Global Films is said to be heavily involved in finding a middle ground for all of the Narnia parties. But Netflix co CEO Ted Sarandos indicated during a recent earnings call that he isn't inclined to budge on windowing and insisted that Netflix films are culturally relevant. I mean, sure, but if you're going to throw it in theaters, it needs time to breathe. Like you need to work out a deal with Netflix or not with Netflix. Netflix needs to work out a deal with the theaters where they're going to get a chunk from the movie because they produced it. It's a Netflix movie. Didn't they do something similar? I mean, not quite to this scale, but with the Hitman's Bodyguard or whatever the F, 1 and 2. They put it in theaters and then it went to Netflix. I mean, I feel like there was other ones too. Maybe was it Red? No, not Red. I don't know. Whatever the hell that movie. A lot of Ryan Reynolds stuff. But either way, yeah, sure. If you're like you can only watch it on Netflix, that's one thing. But you're putting it in theaters, you're dropping a lot of money into it, and you're like you can only see it in theaters this week, and then you're effed. You got to go home and order Netflix. That ain't gonna work, man. You got to let it breathe for about a month, 2 months. I'd say let it go for a month and a half at least, and then it's on Netflix. Because if people don't want to go pay the IMAX prices, if they just don't want to go to a theater, if they don't have a theater real close by that's convenient or in a good area, yeah, they'll want to see it on Netflix, but you're not even giving them a chance. If they want to see it bad enough right away, they'll pay to go to the theater and then you'll get a chunk of that. Work it out so you get like it works out so you're getting almost as much money as like a brand new subscriber. Like I think that's perfectly reasonable. So I don't blame Robbie for wanting a theatrical release for this. I mean, obviously we've seen absolutely nothing about this movie. We don't know who like what it's going to actually look like. It's a very old story. Like I said, I don't know if they're going to update it for modern audiences. I hope not. It's like I, I'm gonna botch a lot of this, and I'm like paraphrasing from what I remember. But it's basically this guy Heathcliff, his beloved Kathleen dies, and he lives in this big mansion in the middle of nowhere, like on a cliffside, whatever, Wuthering Heights, and he keeps seeing like he's like in seeing her ghost or whatever, even though she doesn't really exist. He's like he's going mad because he lost the love of his life, and he's like wandering around seeing Kathleen in different areas. I don't know how it all goes, but I think he ends up like getting like making himself sick by walking around out in the winter time, whatever, to see Kathleen. It ends up leading to his ultimate demise, but I don't know. Anyway, like I said, it's supernatural. It's thrilling. It's a love story. It's a lot of things. It could work. I'm assuming Margot Robbie will be Kathleen, that dude from Euphoria, whatever his name was. I'm sure he'll be Heathcliff. But yeah, this needs to be. They need to stick to their guns. No throwing it up on Netflix within a week or two. It's dumb to dumb dumb dumb. We got a few more things to go through. This one is going to be on Netflix right away. I'm kind of excited for it, even though I didn't really care for Glass Onion all that much. I thought, like, Knives Out was fun. Glass Onion was okay. Ryan Johnson, who makes these films, is an idiot. But I'll watch it. But either way, Knives Out 3, Daniel Craig hopes Netflix sequel hits theaters. Here we go again. The Wake Up Dead Man star is hoping the third entry gets an extended run in theaters. So here we go. There's no denying the convenience of an exciting movie landing on Netflix, and fans around the world all able to check out the experience from the comfort of their homes. Although another undeniable argument is that there's nothing quite like enjoying a movie in theaters. In this sense, while Daniel Craig is excited about the upcoming release of Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery on Netflix, he's also encouraging the platform to bring the movie to theaters. The previous installment from Netflix, Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, landed in theaters for a week, with Craig hoping the next entry gets to enjoy a longer run in cinemas. Wake Up Dead Man is expected to be released sometime in 2025. You know I do, Craig admitted to Variety when asked if he wants the sequel to screen for more than a week. Quote, hopefully Netflix will push it out a bit and people will get to see it. The people I speak to, the fans, I suppose, all they want to do is take their families to go to see it in cinemas. That's all they want to do. Hopefully we can give them that experience. The Knives Out series comes from the writer-director Ryan Johnson, who unveiled the first entry in theaters in 2019, his first major release since the divisive Star Wars The Last Jedi, despite featuring a star-studded ensemble that included Craig, Chris Evans, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Ana de Armas. The movie was still considered a surprise success. That was the first Knives Out. As it went to score $313 million on a reported budget of only $40 million. Not just a hit with audiences, but also a major critical success as it stands at 97% positive reviews on aggregator site Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, and they talk about other movies. Let's see. Glass Onion only scored a week-long run at 600 theaters and is the widest release a Netflix original has earned. Other movies like last year's The Killer, May December, and Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire, which was just straight booty juice, did earn theatrical presentations, though typically as part of film festivals or as limited time engagements. Understandably, Netflix is first and foremost a streaming platform, so it wants to incentivize subscribers to watch their offerings at home, with theatrical screenings being exceptions to honor agreements with filmmakers or to meet criteria for award consideration. Yeah, they should work out more of a deal. Like I said before, like they it needs to be in theaters for longer. Work out deals where they're getting money for it, because at most you might get $5, or I don't know how much a Netflix subscription is nowadays. It's not $5, but I can't see you making that much of a profit on this as opposed to like ticket sales in a theater. I don't get it. Like just put it in the theater for a while. Let it run, make some money off of it. The ticket, get a slice of the box office, man. I did not like Glass Onion, like I said. I honestly want to check to see. I know a lot of people that didn't like it. Glass Onion. And the thing is, because the first movie did not deceive you. Wow, Glass Onion is actually well received. All right, 92% on the popcorn meter. It was entertaining. I just thought it was crap. And it was deceptive because the first movie, like, you don't have to tell me what the answer to the mystery. I don't want to know. But don't like lie to me throughout it. Like it was the dumb man's way of doing a mystery. Like how like the things that Benoit Blanc, Mr. Foghorn Leghorn himself, was saying about the main character in the movie, the genius billionaire or whatever. About he's like, no, it's just dumb. It's not smart. Like it's not so smart. It's dumb. It's just dumb. Like that's Ryan Johnson in that movie, man. Like the way he wrote it and directed it, because first of all, like just the messaging was just like, of course it's this, as always. Ryan Johnson is just predictable. The other thing is, like, in Knives Out, I I mean, you could probably figure it out after a while. I didn't get, and like it was what you saw was what it was. You like they didn't show you maybe Like, if the scene ran for another couple of beats, you would have seen something else, whatever. But that's not what they did with Glass Onion. They showed you a scene, and then they show you the same scene later, but there's stuff there that wasn't there before. I'm like, that's no, it's not even like it was at a different angle, so you saw something else. No, you just lied, and it was deceptive so that people never would have figured it out because you lied about the like what we're seeing. I just thought it was dumb and it was lazy. It wasn't a good mystery at all. And the ending didn't it wasn't a satisfying ending at all. It was, I guess, if you like that, I'm not gonna ruin everything, but like somebody just had like a hissy fit and like just literally burns it down kind of thing. It's like, oh well, screw you. I'm gonna, burn everything you have to the ground, kind of deal. Like, sure, whatever, but I don't know. I feel like Knives Out 1 was a lot more satisfying. Let's hope. He probably won't learn his lesson for this new one, but we shall see. This one, I've got two more stories. This next one is another Netflix related story that I added at the last minute here right before going live. I thought it was interesting. I haven't had Netflix in like 4 years. Yeah, it was about 4 years. So I don't know. Uh, I hate the idea of the interactive movies and stuff, whatever. But apparently that's something they got. But here we go. Netflix removing almost all interactive movies. Only 4 will remain. Netflix is dropping nearly all of its interactive specials on December 1st. The company has confirmed Netflix has released 24 games, the most famous being Black Mirror Bandersnatch, giggity. But next month, only 4 of them will remain. Bandersnatch is one of them, along with Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, Kimmy versus the Reverend, uh, Ranveer versus Wild with Bear Grylls, and You versus Wild. Okay. The spokesperson for Netflix confirmed that mass removal to reporters from The Verge this week, saying, quote, the technology served its purpose, but is now limited as we focus on technological efforts in other areas. It's hard to say how successful these interactive specials were, but most commenters see this as confirmation that they were not worth the cost to produce them. Yeah, I can imagine. As far as movies and TV shows go, these were very experimental, but when it comes to Netflix games, this was a clever way for the streamer to play to its strengths. Some of the interactive specials leaving Netflix next month have major franchise tie-ins, including Carmen Sandiego and Boss Baby. Oh, Carmen Sandiego. Okay, that one would actually make sense. But anyway, the company's very own first special of its kind was Puss in Boots: Trapped in the Epic Tale back in 2017. However, that was removed from Netflix earlier this year. I didn't even know that was on there, to be honest with you, because I had Netflix in 2019, something like that. So, Netflix has been trying to break into the gaming industry for at least 3 years now, often focusing on mobile games to be played within the Netflix mobile app. It has been able to capitalize on its own original technological property and certain licensing deals, and it framed the Netflix subscription price as a savings compared to the price of other games. The company has been focused more and more on games based on its own reality shows like Love is Blind, indicating that those have been successful. Now, the company's more ambitious plans have faltered. Netflix opened a studio called Blue with the hope of breaking into AAA gaming. Ha. But just last month, it shut the project down before it could release a single game. The studio had some experienced creators on board with credits including Halo and God of War. It's unclear if if the company still has interests beyond mobile games after the loss. Executive Mike Verdu recently announced big plans for the use of generative AI at Netflix games, but it's not clear how exactly that technology will be applied. Cool story, bro. Yeah, Netflix game. Nobody cares. Nobody wants Netflix for games, man. I mean, there's the idea of game rentals, but that's not the same thing. People want game rentals back, like from Blockbuster and Hollywood Video and stuff like that. I don't care about games based on Netflix properties and stuff like that. I'm sure a lot of people don't, because it's just they haven't been able to take off with it. Stick to what you know, man. Stick to ruining intellectual properties and DEIing it up and stuff like that. They have a couple good shows. I'm not going to say that nothing. I mean, we just talked about Stranger Things 5 coming out, but even that took way longer than it should have. Like, this is nuts. I never want to see another show ever again with the Stranger Things model. This is stupid. It's bad enough that House of the Dragon is going to be what, 4 seasons, and it's probably going to take like 8 years to pump them all out. F off with that, man. Get it over with. This is stupid. And I love Game of Thrones. I love House of the Dragon, but why does it take 2 years for 1 season? Just like we've gotten 2 seasons of The Frauds of Prime, The Rings of Power, The Ring-a-Ling-a-Ding-Dongs. We've gotten 2 seasons of that within 4 years. F all the way off. Stupid. Same thing with Wheel of Time. That's just like a new thing. I know that it's like, oh, but it takes a lot of money and there's a lot of production and whatever goes into it. It's like, okay, then scale it down. I don't know, do something. This is dumb. They're like, well, we're basically pumping out a movie per week, and it still sucks. Still sucks. It's bad. But getting back to the interactive stuff, people were talking about there's a theory in the future that we're gonna get like make your own TV. Like, they have stuff like very small scale with this right now, like very early stage, like Flash. Does anybody remember Flash technology? Whatever, like Flash games and stuff like that. We have stuff like that now, but it's just going to get bigger and better and more complex and whatever, which I like for creative people, where you can use AI to make your own movies and your own shows and stuff like that. That would be awesome. And I feel like people would still be doom scrolling. Oh, I don't know what to watch. But I think that would be fun. That'd be a cool little thing. But I guess we'll have to see what the future looks like for AI and interactive bull craps and whatever. But that's the end of it for Netflix. Last story I got here. I'm excited about this. It's the only anime related story I got, because any of the anime news, I don't know anything about it. New live action Bleach project unleashes Aran Carr poster. Aaron Carr. I'm going to get tore apart by the weebs. Aaron Carr, whatever. Poster. That's it right here. Boop, a doop, boop, boop. Anyway. Bleach has been granted quite a resurgence thanks to the 1,000-Year Blood War finally receiving the anime treatment. As Ichigo Kurosaki and the Soul Society fight against the Wanderake on the small screen, there are other avenues that the Shinigami are drawing their swords within. In the past, Warner Bros. Japan created a live-action Bleach film that attempted to summarize Ichigo's early adventures and his first encounters with Hollows and the Soul Society. It was actually not bad. I'll say that. I watched it with my wife. It was in Japanese. You had to read subtitles. It was pretty good. It was my wife's first introduction to Bleach, honestly. It starts from the beginning of the series and ends right when I forget the character's name. It's been so long since I watched Bleach. I'm really sorry. The main female character, she gets taken by her brother back to the Soul Society, and Ichigo is like beaten down and like half dead. But that's where it ends. Anyway, Now, Japan is once again giving the Shonen Supernatural Heroes a live action project that is arriving in 2025, sharing a new poster highlighting the biggest characters of the Rock Bleach musical. What? The upcoming live action musical will be in good company when it comes to live action anime adaptations. In recent years, anime fans in the West have been able to see the likes of Death Note and Attack on Titan not only bring their stories to the stage, but also give them some musical beats and create a new kind of anime story. In Japan, countless anime franchises have received live action stage plays, musical and otherwise, including Chainsaw Man, My Hero Academia, Naruto, The Prince of Tennis, Demon Slayer, and countless others. My God. With many performances finding their way to the West in recent years, there's a possibility that Bleach's upcoming musical will one day make its way to North America. That's That's what I get for not reading these stories beforehand. I thought they were talking about like they said they're making a live action movie for Bleach eventually. Like I said, I know we got one out of Japan, but this is I think Netflix is making it. It's going to be along the lines of the One Piece show, which weebs disagree on this because I've talked to some that are like, "Oh my god, it's so good, it's really good. I loved it. Can't wait for season 2." Then I've talked to other ones that are like, "Oh, it sucks. It's garbage. They ruined everything and blah blah blah." Those are the ones that are never happy about anything. Death Note was garbage. Straight trash. Um and I heard they're going to do kind of get a mulligan on that one. They're going to try again, which cool. Uh, I want to see an actual Death Note, not whatever the F that was. That was night. That was not light. That was not L. That just. Ugh. They even renamed him because he was white, so he couldn't be Light Yagami. So they named him Light Turner. Ugh. But anyway, yeah. So and they completely changed everything about it. One Piece was damn good. I liked it. I have not watched the anime through yet, but I've got so much to watch. I need to finish. I still need to finish Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. But regardless, so yeah, Bleach is supposed to Netflix is supposed to make a live action Bleach movie or series. I hope it's a series. I would be all into that. My wife might actually get into it. She won't she stopped watching the because I tried getting her into the actual anime with me, and she's like, "Oh my god, it looks so old." I'm like, "It's from the early 2000s. Like we were in middle school at that point. Like, come on." She's like, "Yeah, that's a long time ago. Like the animation is so old." And it's like, I'm like, "So what?" And I know what she's talking about. Like everything looks like it's not as sharp and crisp, it's more brighter and feathery. It's hard to describe there, whatever. And it's a box. It's not widescreen. I get it, but who cares, bro? Like, it's still a damn good show. One of my favorite animes of all time. And then, um, the I I know Netflix is looking to do a few different ones. I think I heard something about. I don't think they're the ones doing it, but they're going to make a live action Naruto movie. Like all these, I'm very excited for. I wish they would do another live action Dragon Ball because obviously Dragon Ball Evolution was the worst abomination that has ever been put on film. It was disgusting, and they should be ashamed of themselves and flog themselves at least once a week for the rest of their lives for making that. But uh, just wow. Yeah, but I would love to see more anime, and that's like a big argument. No, just leave everything to animation. Yeah, okay, whatever. But I like live action. I like that sometimes, and I think it will get more mass appeal if they do a live action adaptation that might draw people into the anime. Like now, I want to watch One Piece. If they do it with other ones, I would want to watch that. But I think Full Metal Alchemist should get a live action. I know they did it in Japan already. I'm talking about in America. I would love to see it for Attack on Titan. that kind of. I think Attack on Titan would lend itself amazingly to live action. Just epic movies. Just do like 4 or 5 movies. Put one out a year. That would be your next big thing. They've been looking for this new film series to put out there. They haven't had like a real good one, in my opinion, since like the Hunger Games came out. That was like the last big series. Harry Potter wrapped up. Hunger Games wrapped up. Now they're going back and doing prequels and crap. Who cares? But anyway, that's just my opinion. But that's all we got. I did see something about speaking of Netflix, they have canned the Hulk Hogan biopic just because they couldn't come to terms on finances and there's been missed payments and whatever. So they officially shelved the biopic. It was supposed to be starring Chris Hemsworth as Hulk Hogan. And the director was the guy that did Joker and The Hangover. I forget that dude's name, but he just bombed out with Joker 2, obviously. But supposedly they were going to do this movie and they shelved it forever, bro. I don't know if it's ever going to get made. Probably not. But Kurt Angle did make a deal. Kurt Angle is getting a biopic. They have finished a script. Now they're just trying to secure financing, and they're going to move into casting here very soon. So I got some stories about that coming out within the next few days. Stay tuned. Like I said, please check out my latest video. I'm going to try to post it on Rumble again. But it is called Tinseltown Has Become a Production Graveyard. Wrestling fans, please go check out my No Mercy 2006 retro wrestling review. I post one every single Friday. So I got one coming out tomorrow. Obviously, this one is going to be on the very first ever Survivor Series. It's Survivor Series 1987. It competed with NWA Starrcade 1987, Chi-Town Heat, and it won. So, yeah, it was not good for the NWA, I'll say that. But anyway, and then next Friday, I've got a video. We're going to have a long podcast video. It's it's going to be a dedication to Greg, but we're also going to be talking about wrestling. We're going to be talking about donating to Toys for Tots. We're going to talk about figure collecting, fun stuff, not election related, not politically related. So we're getting away from all that stuff. Earlier in the week, by Tuesday or Wednesday at the latest, I hope to have a video on all the hilarity going on with Dragon Age, the Veil Guard, or the Fail Guard, if you will. It looks trash, just straight garbage. So we're going to be making fun of it hardcore. I'm going to be bringing you hard facts that don't care about your feelings in that video as well. And some video clips to get my point across even harder, giggity. We'll be doing all of that next week. And please go back and check out my current videos. But before I sign off, please subscribe and click the notification bell, if you will, to keep up with me with everything I post, all the breaking news and opinions and reviews and all that stuff right here on YouTube, if you're following me, or if you're watching on YouTube. If you want to follow me on YouTube or subscribe to me on YouTube, it is youtube.com/at main event at Marks on Media. On Rumble, I am at rumble.com/C/Marks on Media. Next week's Friday wrestling podcast for the Main Event Marks will be on rumble.com/C/Main Event Marks. You can check it out on there. For social media, if you want to follow me on social media, X and Instagram, I'm at Marks_on_media. And on Facebook, I'm at Marks on Media Tube. I interact with everybody on there. If you send me a message, if you comment, if you like something, whatever, I'll interact with you. I do on YouTube in the comments as well. I do in the Rumble comments as well. I mostly get spam comments in on Rumble right now, but either way, trying to build a following on that as well as YouTube. But please subscribe and click the notification bell on YouTube, or like I said, on Rumble. Please follow the channel. I got a lot of great stuff coming for the rest of the year, baby. And I'm going to try to get more consistent with my Thursday live streams at 1 o'clock. So tune in for that. I know I'm competing with the Quartering when he goes live at 1 o'clock, which kind of sucks, but I do very different stuff than he does. So anyway, I appreciate you all for being here with me today. You've been what a wonderful audience. But we will see you all next Thursday, hopefully. If not, I'll keep you all in the loop. Have a great day. It's a beautiful day in America, everybody.